This is a mortgage deed, and it belongs to somebody who got their mortgage in their house at the height of the pandemic. We're talking about starting off with nothing other than negative items, having to build out their file and increase their score, and then go and get their mortgage. And this is at a time when the banks were not even lending, and they were closing down credit cards to people who had never even paid late, but that just didn't have it on their credit report that they were employed, and because of this, they were at risk. So should you go out and get a mortgage with bad credit? My answer to this is no. We started talking about this the other day. I let you know that I was going to share something important with you, and here we are today. You should not, unless you want to put tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in someone else's pocket, you should not be impatient and go out and get a 7 to 12 or even higher than that % interest rate just because you didn't go through this process. So I'm going to take you start to finish how long it took us through each of these phases so that you can get a general understanding of what it actually takes. Now, obviously, process right now is a little bit easier than it was at that time. However, the process stands. It is the same. You first need to go out and remove your negative items so that you don't have to put all that money that you work so hard for into someone else's pocket. Now, yeah, I get it. Yes, you can go out and you can get an FHA and you can do all this other stuff that, you're going to get the house, but you're also going to be paying, what, $700, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 more or more than that. Yeah, absolutely more than that per month than you really need to be paying. So I don't know about you, but I don't like to pay for things that I don't have to. I mean, obviously, I'm in the business of saving people money. So here we are talking about how long this actually takes. Yes, it is possible, and I'm proving it to you, but you need to go through these phases so that you can keep that money in your pocket, all right? So here's the deal. This person started off with nothing other than charge-offs, collections, and late payments. There were no on-time anything. There was nothing that was open. And all right, let's get this done. So phase 1, remove these negative items, all right? That took 6 months. That by itself took 6 months. But now you're left with 0 credit. Not even a thin file. The file just doesn't exist. There's no score. There's nothing, right? So now we got to take time and we have to add lines, right? And you don't just jump to a $5,000 line. No, you start with those stupid little cards that kind of like, oh, why am I even doing this? We're never going to get anywhere. Well, you see, I'm a master at that. So it only took 6 months, right? The actual building process took nothing other than 6 months, okay? We'll talk about that another day, but you can actually go back to one of my videos. I think it was something having to do with like the ultimate beginner's guide to building credit, I believe. But I give you an entire, structure and process for apply for this, get this, pay for this, go to the next one, so on and so forth. So you may want to go and check that out, all right? So now we are 12 months in, okay? 6 months removing, 6 months building. Now, there's another phase to this that nobody wants to talk about, and that is what I call the shine. You need to make your credit report shine. You need to go in with multiple different types of credit when you go for your pre-approval, right? They want to see that you have secured revolving, unsecured revolving, installment loans, auto installment loans. Obviously, you're not going to have a mortgage line on there yet, but there's also those little merchandise cards and store cards. They want to see these different types so that they can know that you are good with credit, right? It's not just your score that they go off of, but you're good with credit, it's fleshed out, and you know what you're doing, and you are credit worthy and pay on time, okay? You see, I don't just tell you the good, I tell you the good and the bad and the super, super ugly, and people don't like that. Okay, I got hung up on yesterday. I'm posting that video today as well. I got hung up on yesterday because I said many things that this person didn't want to hear because it wasn't what they were expecting and that they were wanting. Man, look, I say this all the time. I'm never going to tell you what you want to hear, not to get you in my program and not to keep you in my program, okay? I'm always going to be the one that gives you it exactly as it is. Because if what you wanted existed, I would hand it over and there would be a nice little pretty price tag right on it. Why wouldn't I? Why would I hold that back? I would not be shy about it, okay? So what you're looking for doesn't exist, but I'm not telling you that in a negative way. What I'm saying is it's not the goal that's unrealistic. It's only the journey there. So we took another 3 months to make this shine. So I call this process the shine. We worked the cards and used them, paid them, right? There was a whole flow process to this, okay? And now is that time when you go and you find the house, get your pre-approval, you're, with your realtor, and you're working with the loan officer and all that kind of stuff. And then 45 days close. Okay, so start to finish, removing, building the shine, getting the house, closing all the way to the end, and literally walking through the door of that new house. We are talking about 17 months. Now, before you go and you click off this video and you're, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, blah, 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 blah. Think about it. We started off with nothing other than negative items, had to remove those negative items. That's a long process in itself, and 6 months isn't even a long time, okay? And then we had to build up that credit to the point where a bank would say, hey, we will give you $500,000. And that's exactly what that bank said to this person. It was actually $450,000 that this person was approved for at the height of the pandemic while no lenders were lending to anybody, right? But they're like, hey, you know what? I don't need 450. This house that I want right here is only 215, right? $215,000. So that was the offer. The offer was accepted. So it was 215,000, not 250, but 215,000 out of 450 that this person was approved for during the height of the pandemic. They went out and got their house, and hey, you know what? They found that house, they loved that house, they didn't look at any other houses, and they got their house, and that was it. You see, is it possible that you can do the same thing? Yes. But is it also possible that you can go and have to put $20,000 to $40,000 more down just because of your credit score? Yes, that's also possible. Is it possible that you can use the wrong process with disputing your negative items and they just don't come off, and now you're going to have to wait a full 7.5 years? Yes, that's also possible. Is it possible that you're going to do something illegal, like use the identity theft method, and as a victim of identity theft that would be legal, but if you are not, then it is illegal? That's also possible because now your negative items are most definitely not coming off. And as a side note there, right, a little bit of a tangent here, I posted a video, a short about this the other day, and it ruffled some feathers, and I don't care. It only got like 87% likes or something. Normally I get 95 to 100. Now, here's the reason that people didn't like it. It's because I said, this is a process that you shouldn't use, and the people who gave me a thumbs down are the ones who have used it and did not get their deletions. So obviously, it's a confirmation bias. Right? So confirmation bias is where I'm literally confirming what you already knew, right? You went out, you used this process when you weren't supposed to, and you didn't get your results, and now someone's telling you that, hey, you did this, and because you did this, you didn't get your results, and all of a sudden, this is a thing that, oh, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because there is a legal and permanent method for removing your negative items. My proof of concept is literally right here in my hands. I'm standing in my proof of concept, okay? So can you go out and get these things off and never have to look back? Yes, you can. Can you go out and remove them? Every single one of them, collections, charge-offs, repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, judgments, taxes, inquiries. Yes, you can. Is it going to be in 14 days? No, it's not. And if it were going to be in 14 days, you'd be paying so much, it would literally be coming out on the back end, right? And speaking of which, why wouldn't the loan officer have a piece of that? All these people work off commission, the realtor, the loan officer, all that kind of stuff, right? They get their origination fees and all that kind of stuff. They want to close. Their job is to close. Their job is to get that commission. So if it were possible to make this credit repair, credit sweep, credit restoration process part of that process, then man, they would be doing it all day. There'd be one of me in every single place out there, the dealerships, the mortgage offices, all that, okay? So, I don't tell you these things to discourage you. I tell you these things to motivate you to do this the right way. I have 1,200 videos. They go back 9 years. It's literally over 1,200 videos, okay? And you know what? When I started, I started literally recording my videos with a 1968 heater in the back of me, okay? So this was a long process to go from, where I was at to where I am today. It does not happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight for this person either. It's not going to happen overnight for you. But when you put yourself in the right mindset of, this is the action plan that I'm going to have. These are the things that I'm going to do. This is exactly what it's going to take for me to remove my negatives, build out my credit, get my score where it needs to be, and then go out and get my house, or whatever that goal is. And at that time, now you can go and achieve that financial freedom that you're looking for, okay? So, you know what? You have to take that first step. And that first step is either going back through my videos and learning the things that you need to learn about doing this legally and permanently, or you can use the link on the screen down in the description or in the description of any video that I post to see if I can do this for you. If I can help you get through this process the right way so that 2 years from now, you're not continuing to scroll YouTube and coming back to my videos like so many people do because they didn't believe me, all right, and found out the hard way. And that's literally going to be the way that you are going to achieve this, okay? Or you can, outside of doing it yourself, you can go to a company who's not going to give you the copies of the disputes, who's going to lock you into a specific time frame. That's not going to dispute all your negative items each time. That's not going to do all 3 bureaus each time they send a dispute. That's not going to use custom factual disputes, because remember, you're nothing other than a number on a spreadsheet, a statistic that says the day that you pay, and that's exactly what they treat your file as an assembly line process where, kind of like meat packing, right? Or like a can process. So one machine puts the stuff into the can, another machine seals it, another machine puts a label on it, another machine spits it down into, a big bulk thing, okay? That is exactly how they treat your file. You never know who's working on your file. You never know what they're doing because they're not showing you. And 9 times out of 10, this is the exact process that they're doing. Either something illegal, nothing at all, or you're sending out the same thing for everybody, that assembly line process. If that is exactly what, someone is going to do for you, I can promise you that you will continue to come back to my videos and you will continue to go through this over and over and over again because it's not being done the right way. And then 7 years pass and, hey, you got to do this all over again, the building and going through it. I don't want for that to happen to you, and that is why I share this information with you. This is why I prove that it works. Every day, all day, this is what I do. So if you want to get them off legally and permanently, then hey, I'm your girl, all right? So I will see you later. I will see you tomorrow. I've got a lot of information to share with you this week, but that's it. Have a great day. And